Yeah, I try to set the lives up at a particular time, but sometimes things come up. So I appreciate your patience. I'm trying to be consistent. The Most High gives me information to share. Trying to be consistent with bringing out information that the Most High gives me. So thank you for your patience and waiting for me. I appreciate you. Got some more information today because we are the only ones that are giving clarification at this point. Everyone is like arguing about the curses that are falling on each other, but they're not putting all of the puzzle pieces together. They can't put the puzzle pieces together. I want to say thank you to all of the people that are taking care of the chat, all the moderators. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for being consistent. Thank you for being here. I know I'm not like on a consistent schedule. So, I appreciate whenever I try to put things up when I can get on here. Sometimes I'm in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon. I know people are all over the country, all over the world. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you, Brother Mordio. Thank you, Brother Sly. Thank you, Sister Lisa. I appreciate you guys being here and being so consistent. I appreciate you. Thank you, Brother Ozzy. I said, thank everyone. I said, we are in absolutely wonderful, wonderful times right now. Thank you, Mother Green Earth. We appreciate you being here, taking care of the chat. Thank you, Brother Donald Kimbrough. Appreciate you. It is so evident that we are the only ones that have this knowledge right now. Thank you, Astarte Jones. We are the only ones that the Most High is giving this knowledge to. The only ones that you can see who the Holy Spirit is dealing with. Thank you, Chris G. Thank you, Somber. I appreciate that. I said, thank you, Yusuf Yesrael. I appreciate you. It's all of the prophecy, and I put that in there. All of the prophecy that we're talking about right now is talking about 1492 and after. 1492 and after. It's like the Bible was made or written or put together for the things we were going to be suffering from 1492 until 2025. And when you understand that, you start looking at those things, the puzzle pieces come together. The puzzle pieces are going to come together. Because like in the Christopher Columbus Prophecies book, when he was talking about coming over here to the fourth part, he was like, and there it says, most of the prophecies of the Bible had already been fulfilled. Now, this is what the Most High has kind of given me. We had the mainland here in Turtle Island. And then we had our colonies in the three parts. And it seems like they took down a lot of our colonies and the three parts when they were raised up. But they were hoping to get their opportunity to come to our lands. And everything in the Bible seems to be revolving around Revelation 6 and 8, 9 and 10. When you understand that that was 1492, then many of the other prophecies all start to come together. Like, look right now. Look right now at like all of the things going on with the migrants. Like, look, it is very evident. Everybody keeps saying, my parents came here for a better life. My parents came here for an opportunity, right? And my parents and my grandparents worked hard, right? So what you're telling me is this. If your parents were going to work hard regardless of where they were. Your grandparents would have worked hard in whatever country they were in the first place. Would they not have? They were going to work hard either way, right? But they might have worked hard in certain other areas, but they wouldn't have gotten the blessing had they worked hard here. Because these lands are magical. These lands, so they keep on saying things like, well, my grandparents worked hard. They got here and they stayed out of trouble. Okay, they could have did that in their own countries. Everyone works hard. Most people try to keep their nose out of trouble. So why is it that you seem to think you had to come here to do that? Because these lands are blessed. We were going through our punishment, which then put us at the bottom, which would automatically raise you to the top. So I'm going to show you some stuff, because in the Apocrypha, in the older Bible that I have, it has precepts. What you're going to see is many of the precepts go back to Revelation 6 and 8, Revelation 6 and 10, and Revelation 18. So when you have that as your foundation and you start reading the Bible, then it all starts to make sense about everything happening here in the fourth part and all these prophecies, like us waking up in the valley of dry bones. How did we get to the point where we were dry bones in the valley? That goes back to Enoch. But again, the other nations and the 70 shepherds destroyed us, and this was like the final time of them doing that. And us being awakened is happening here. Us waking up in the lands of our captivity is happening, in the lands of our captivity is happening here. All of these things are happening here. Everyone came here to chase their dreams. Why didn't y'all run over to Ish's land in the so-called Middle East? How come no one was like, hey, let's go to the so-called Middle East over there and chase our dreams over there? No, they're all coming here, because this is the final countdown. The final showdown is happening here. Us waking up in the lands of our captivity happening here. You don't see Ish waking up in the lands of captivity in the Middle East. I haven't seen any Hamites who are supposedly Israelites waking up in the lands of captivity in Africa. To them, they've never lost. They never forgot who they were. You see what I'm saying? So again, where are all these things happening? They're happening here. Now, I did a video. Hold on real fast. Let me get my Bible here. It's an older Bible, so I gotta be very careful with it. In Ecclesiasticus 33, I was doing some reading last night. Okay. In Ecclesiasticus 33. I did this on TikTok earlier, okay? But look. By the knowledge of the Most High, they were distinguished. Is that not how it is working out right now? How much knowledge you have of the Most High, that is how we are being distinguished. Right? And he altered seasons and feasts. Some of them hath he made high days and hallowed them, and some of them hath he made ordinary days. This is Ecclesiasticus 33 and starts in 8, okay? And all the men are from the ground, right? And Adam was created of earth. In much knowledge the Most High hath divided them. In much knowledge has the Most High divided them. So again, like the Most High gave me a couple days ago, knowledge is the currency today. Knowledge is how you know who someone is, not skin color. The other nations who never got knowledge had to find some other way to distinguish who is who. And they're the ones who've always made things about skin color. If you test the Spirit, you're going to test that knowledge and understanding. If they have the Holy Spirit, they will have knowledge. If they don't have the Holy Spirit, they will not have knowledge. So it's actually 8, okay? By the knowledge of the Most High have they distinguished. By the knowledge of the Most High, they were distinguished. And in Ecclesiastes 33 and 11, and much knowledge, the Most High hath divided them and made their ways diverse. So that is how you look at people today. That is how you realize which virgins have oil and which ones do not. By the knowledge that they have. Study to show thyself approved. Knowledge, understanding. Being able to grow in these dark days of the Gentiles. This is why they went all over the world burning libraries. This is why they go all over the world, telling you don't read this, don't read that, that's evil, this is evil. It's all making sense. Like yesterday was a 777. That portal was open, and that was a very important day to manifest. Picking something to manifest that day. And don't think it's a coincidence. If you think of it, the 4th of July was, again, 1776, 4th of July. That is when they went ahead and the other nations got their new country. Our 4th of July, Trump of 2025, Trump passes this big, beautiful bill, which pretty much guts social services here in the United States, gives money to ICE hand over fist, and cuts social services countrywide. And so it's just pretty much destroying this country. And now, 3 days after that, we have this 777, which opportunity to manifest. July the 10th is the 7th month anniversary of us manifesting with Pluto from January 10th. So as you can see, everything is lining up. Everything is lining up perfectly. Yesterday here in LA, they had this big old show of force at MacArthur Park where they got soldiers walking. They got police horses walking. They got, Sharon Bass, the mayor of LA, showing up for a photo op. And you guys need to leave now. ICE needs to leave now. And, but causing fear. Causing fear. And again, the horses. Like they used to use against us when they got here. They're riding horses and horseback. You see what I'm saying? Like so it causes this fear. So on the day when they could have been trying to manifest things, they were too busy in fear. Too busy in fear, talking about the flood. And they're falling quickly. Dog to the conquest, exactly. So hold on, I want to go into 2nd Esdras 15, okay? Now, I want to show you guys something. Again, all of these things at LC, they took out these precepts. So that then, just like the churches do, they take out precepts so then they can break down the Bible however they want to. These precepts are from the early 1800s. When this is all set up. And this Bible was from like 1830s, when we were still enslaved, when we didn't know who we were prisoners of war, we weren't reading. They put these precepts here. So that when you look, you're gonna see that many of these precepts are gonna be talking about Revelation 6 and 8 and 10, which is again, talking about the things that have happened here on Turtle Island. And see, the other nations are not even talking about the Bible anymore. They weren't talking about it before. But they're really not talking about it now. They're just talking about, like Karen Bass, the mayor of LA. ICE needs to leave now. ICE needs to go now because they're destroying our economy. Bass, you are part of Psalms 83. You can go out here and give lip service, but you are a foot soldier. And you're going to do everything that Psalms 83 tells you to do. You guys are not in a position to like tell the government what they can and can't do and what they're going to do or not going to do. You guys gave your authority away to Psalms 83 a long time ago. So if you got your Apocryphas or is on your phone, go to 2nd Esdras chapter 15. 2nd Esdras chapter 15. And I'm going to show you some of these precepts, okay? So you can see again for yourself. Because even the camps, they're always like, oh, this is going to happen in the future. This is going to happen in the future. This is going to happen in Jacob's trouble in the future. But again, none of them have tried to debunk me when I talked about Revelation 6 and 8 and the fourth part being America in 1492. But the precepts are telling you in 2nd Esdras 15, that is exactly what it's talking about. That is exactly what it's talking about. It's not talking about some antichrist coming in the future and after they're raptured away. That's not even in here. The Bible explains itself when you have the precepts that were taken out. So let's take a look. So right up here again, Revelation 6 and 10. So again, it says, I will hold, so over here it says, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. These souls of the just refer to the ones from Revelation 6 and 10, which again goes back to Revelation 6 and 8, and the pale horse, and coming to the fourth part, and killing all these people. So also talks about Revelation 19 and 2. Well, I'm telling you what it is. I know it's kind of hard to see, but that's as good as we're going to get right now. Okay? So then, if you go down here to 21, this is why I said you have to pull up on your own, because it is going to be kind of hard to see, because you can tell there's a whole lot of stuff going on right here. So we go right here to Revelation, 2nd Esdras 15 and 20. Behold, saith the Most High, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south and from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another. We talked about them killing each other, going against each other, and repay the things that they have done to them. You have to pay for the things that you've done to the Israelites. Right here. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom, thus saith the Most High Power. Now this is referring to Matthew 7 and 1, Revelation 18 and 5, and Revelation 6 and 8. So again, this is all referring to the fourth part. This is referring to, again, the fourth part. So like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. Thus saith the Most High. My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. That is referring to Revelation 18 and 5, Revelation 6 and 8. So again, all of that stuff that's talking about coming on the earth in 2nd Esdras 15 is referring to Revelation 6 and 8 and going forward after that. So now when you see all these events that are happening right here, that's because this is where the destruction of the other nation begins. Revelation 6 and 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. So when you understand that, now Exodus 15 makes sense. Now that makes sense. You see? Let me see something else. I was reading last night because I was studying last night. Hold on. Something else here from Joel. Hold on. Let's go to Joel chapter 3. Put it in the sun. Joel chapter 3. Now, Joel chapter 3, verse 6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Okay? Behold, I will raise them out of the place where ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, shall sell them, sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Most High hath spoken it. What precept? Revelation 13 and 10. Revelation 13 and 10. So see, that's the Old Testament. Well, that Old Testament, again, was referring to something that is going to happen in the New Testament. So you go to Revelation 13 and 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth, I guess they don't like that. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. That was referring to what's going to happen in Joel chapter 3, verse 6 and 7 and 8. And again, you came over here and you've done these things, and now it's time to pay. So much as you want to believe that what we're saying is not true, you guys aren't even trying to fight this anymore. Hold on. Check this one out. Zechariah chapter 2, verse 8. Zechariah 2 and 8. For thus saith the Most High of Hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. That is reference to Revelation 18 and 1. Revelation 18 and 1. The apple of his eye. This is why you get like, you're going to get like, let's go there real quick. Like, you don't see these Constantine Christians getting into the Bible like this. You don't see them getting into scripture like this. You don't see any of them going into the Apocrypha, showing you precepts, any of that stuff. Revelation 18 and 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lighted with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Remember that? We're talking about the different birds from the book of Enoch that were coming after and pecking the eyes of the sheep and eating the muscle and eating all of the skin all the way to the bones. That is like referencing again the book of Enoch. 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. That's wisdom. That is these odes of Solomon, drinking that wine, right? For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth have waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. I want to search out, I want to, have my best life. I want to go to America for, my best life, to chase my dreams. Odes of Solomon. Everybody come on in. You see, like, this is why you have to read the Odes of Solomon, the book of Enoch, to get this information, to be able to talk about the birds, to talk about that wine when they're invited to come in, when they're invited to come in and chase after your dreams here. So you can get your silver tsunamis. You get all your money that you were promised when you came over here to the Americas. So I keep hearing people say, oh, my parents worked hard. Yeah, they would have worked hard in Mexico too, or Guatemala, or Cuba, or whatever else, but they wouldn't have gotten the blessing. Take care of something, okay? That. Hopefully we're okay now. So now it should be all making sense. The Bible that we have here is predominantly talking about 1492 until now. The prophecies that are written in there are predominantly from 1492 until now. And when you understand that, then you'll read the Bible from a different perspective. So when you're hearing these guys talking about, one of these dudes from GMS tried to make a video about me and talking about Jacob's trouble being in not in the future. You're like, well, where's Babylon? If America is the promised land, then where's Babylon at? I was like, are you slow? I said, well, in that case, in that thinking, where's Egypt? Where's Egypt then? Because we're supposed to be taken into slave ships into Egypt, according to Deuteronomy 28:68. Were we all taken into Egypt? Oh, then you'll say, oh no, Egypt means a land of, it means bondage. Okay, so when it's convenient for you, you're gonna say something like, oh, well, where's Babylon? If this is the promised land, then where's Babylon? Babylon is a system, genius. Babylon is a system that makes us babble, makes us not know who we are, not know anything. It is a system. But see, that's what y'all want to do. You GMS cats and you guys in the camps want, when a word says a word and all of a sudden you don't like that word, then you'll say, well, okay, well, Egypt means bondage. But then I'm like, okay, well, Babylon doesn't have to be necessarily a city, because it is a system. It is a Psalms 83 system that's all been worked together to keep our people in confusion, which you guys are still helping with, because you're not even talking about 1492. I've been talking about Revelation 6 and 8 for a couple of years now. The Most High gave me that a couple of years ago. And I've been challenging any of you to make a video going into Revelation 6 and 8, and none of you do. Because you've all been working together to hide the fact that 1492 until 2025 has been prophecy, has been last days prophecy, has been the last times of the the 70 shepherds. These have been the last 70 shepherds that were going to kill way more than the previous shepherds. And they've all been working to hide that information. So again, you all want to pick and choose what you guys want to say. Pick and choose, like John 3:16 says, oh, it says world. Oh, that means that he came for the whole world. Then you guys will be like, oh, no. That's not what the word world means. World means alchemy. It means this. It means that. Oh, then all of a sudden y'all want to switch up and change things up. So you're not going to see very many people talk about the Bible predominantly talking about what happened to our people from 1492 until now. Because now you're seeing like all the many of these different people, like these migrant groups, complaining about stuff that we have suffered in the last 500 years. Oh, but hold on real quick. Give me a quick minute here. I'm looking for something. Just going off what the Most High had given me last night when I was reading and studying. Okay, Micah 4. Now I talked about Micah 4, let me see here, and 10, okay, last couple days, right? So again, Micah 4 and 10 is referring to Revelation 18. You're going to see like a lot of these Old Testament prophets were also being referenced again in the book of Revelation, a revealing here at the end. And the vast majority of people are not revealing anything new. They're still stuck with the same breakdowns, right, of the Catholic Church, and they don't change. So let me show you real quick. I'm trying to keep it in the sun here so you can see a little bit better. Micah 4 and 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon, and to confusion. But they're going to say, oh, well, where's Babylon? We got to go directly into Babylon. Come on now, you're being real simple. We're going to go into Well, first we dwelt in the city. Now shalt thou go forth out of the city, because we dwelt in our cities, and thou shalt dwell in the field. We were forced to go out and work in our own fields. And thou shalt go even to Babylon. We're going to be in confusion, not know who we are. Right? There shalt thou be delivered. When we're out in the field, there we're going to be delivered from. Okay? We're going to remember who we are. There the Most High shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. We're out in the field. We're at the bottom. We're at Babylon. We didn't know who we were. That is where we're going to be delivered. We're going to remember who we are. If you look over here, you can see there's a whole lot of actual, try to get it so you guys can. Right here is Revelation 18 and 7. Revelation 18 and 7. Hosea 10:3. Hosea 3:3. Now 11. Now also many nations are gathered against thee. Migrants, immigrants, all brought over here to be against us. That say, let her be defiled, and let our eye look upon Zion. That's very important right there. Now also many nations are gathered against thee. They've been brought over here to flood our lands. Flood our lands. Many nations are gathered against thee that say, let her be defiled. You black people are nothing. You don't deserve reparations. You don't deserve justice. You need to just comply. And let our eye look upon Zion. You should have never did that. You should have never done that. But they know not the thoughts of the Most High. So you don't understand this Bible. You don't understand what it means. You don't know the thoughts of our power. You only know the thoughts of white Jesus. But they know not the thoughts of the Most High. Neither understand they his counsel. For he shall gather them as the sheaves into the floor. That's Joel 2 and 12. Arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion. For I will make thy horn iron, and I will make thy hooves brass. And thou shalt beat in pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gain unto the Most High, and their substance unto the Most High, okay, unto the Most High of the whole earth. Where are the other people bringing this out? This shows you who the Most High is dealing with and who he's not dealing with. The vast majority of the people are stuck. They're stuck just looking at, they're reacting to what they see. They're just reacting to the fact that they're being told to go home. They're told to leave the lands. But they're not giving you like any breakdowns as to why this is happening. So I said, where are the people that are saying things like, well, you know, explaining what's going on? Yes, this will definitely scare them. Hold on. Like these other nations, they are getting it right now. And it's just the beginning of what is coming on the earth. gonna play Brother Sly's video here real quick because he brings some good information. Because like I said, they don't come with anything new. Once you understand their playbook, you understand they're gonna just call names, say you're evil, say you're in a cult, stuff like that, and because they have nothing. When you understand them, they don't have knowledge. Most High divided us with ones who have knowledge and ones who don't. We can get information, and then we can, process it and think for ourselves and make things make sense. These people can't do that. So I'm gonna play a little bit of Brother Sly's video talking about you people are in a cult. Talking about us being in a cult. Nothing new. Okay, their playbook has been played.
All praises to the Most High. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother who is wisdom, also known as Sophia. And acknowledgement to our brother Yahweh Shai. For people who actually listen to my content, you're probably aware that I've taken a little hiatus off TikTok because TikTok has basically become a blundering circus of fools. So once again, as soon as I get back on, I'm greeted with the madness of people who really don't know anything. We have another accuser of the brethren in the system. So this lesson right here will be a quick cut, only 3 precepts, just to prove this ignorant person wrong. Let's go to Proverbs 9:13. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. Because people like this come on here and they make fake charges against the true Israelites, claiming that we're a cult. But notice how they never go into the history of the abominable church with all of their proven atrocities throughout history. So imagine the ones that we don't know about. So this person claims we're in a cult. Let's just show that accusation they've been throwing at us for millennia. Let's go to Acts, the book of Acts 24:5. We have found this man to be a troublemaker. Well, you black Hebrew Israelites, you're a cult, who is constantly stirring up riots amongst the Jews and all over the world. He is a ringleader of the cult known as the Nazarenes. So even back then, they claimed that Yahweh Shai was the ringleader of a cult. These people never change their tactics because they don't have the spirit. They can't grow. It's the same unproven accusations over and over and over again. Now let's go to the book of Acts 24:14.
See Brother Sly's video right there, his channel right there on TikTok.
I follow the way, which they call a cult. I worship the power of our ancestors. And I firmly believe the Jewish, now we know it shouldn't read Jewish, this is a transliteration. And I firmly believe the Jewish law and everything written in the prophets. The problem with people like this is that we believe and that we follow the ways of the Most High. And that we're no longer stuck in the abominable church and Constantine Christianity. So, are we a cult? I have no problem with that charge.
Nope.
I have no problem with that. You came over here like you was eating, like you said something profound. A cult, the culture. The Hebraic understanding is the culture. we're going back to the old ways, the old culture. So if you come to my channel, please bring something that's actually, damning if that's your purpose, because you really didn't prove anything. You just made yourself look naive and ignorant. So once again, I'm not going to be on here long.
See that, and that's where we're at right now. Like, we can see through all of your guys's your accusations. I said, because you're not saying anything. It's the same things I've been hearing for years and years and years. Nothing new. Once you understand that, then these people, you understand these are very base individuals who can't prove anything. The sister was talking about this right here, about Trump.
So the president then went and said that America is for pure-blooded Americans only. This show is about to get very, very interesting, because that right there, a pure-blooded American, that's interesting, because we know that's not white people. We know that y'all not from America. We know that. So that gets them out the way, off rip. Okay? So now we have the Africans. We know they're from Africa. The actual Africans, we know they're from Africa. They came here. We know they're from Africa. Okay, that gets them out the way. We have the Latinos that are mixed with the Spaniards. Okay, we can get them out the way. Okay? The Mexicans, I'm not going to really put in here, because the Mexicans were a part of America before they were called Mexicans, before lines were drawn in the sand. So this is where we're getting tricky. Okay? Then we have what they call the Native Americans, who they like to say were here. Okay? They like to say this is their land. They built these pyramids. They built all of this shit. They were the ones that were here. But we have texts and documents and proof that that's not true either. We have texts and documents and artifacts and paintings on the cave walls and everything. We have it all that shows that's not true. We're not going to go by DNA, because we know that's not true. So that leaves one people who they have placed so much propaganda around, who they have created so much rhetoric. There is a one people that nobody really knows, but everybody knows where they come from. See, Africans get to be called Africans, Mexicans get to be called Mexicans, Europeans get to be called Europeans, Asians get to be called Asian, but it is the Black American that has to be called African American. One part of it is a lie and one part of it is the truth.
So again, like I said, you can just see, like, this, again, by knowledge, you're gonna know who people are. The Most High divided us through knowledge and ignorance. So in all groups, you're gonna have some people, most people are gonna be ignorant, but you will have some in all groups that will have knowledge, because they've been prepared to not fall into the traps of the devil. They have been prepared to not, take things when they were being forced to, or trying to be forced to take certain things. They were going to be, when they were trying to be forcing people into certain churches, when they're trying to force you into certain mindsets and thinking, certain people were kept out of that and kept away from that. It's all about knowledge to keep you out of trouble. You see what I'm saying? So people are, and it's like, it's not just like this guy right here. I'm sure you guys this video right here. The Asians, like, look, so many people have wanted to be the white man, be down with the white man. And when you did that, You had to vomit up your wisdom, join his churches, and be racist to our people. You had to become ignorant of the truth and persecute the Most High's people. Watch this video.
I'm a racist. Okay, that's fine.
Oops.
I hate when I'm already.
I'm a racist.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay?
Why are you here?
Because this is a no zone.
Watch as this YouTuber is confronted by this man with zero filter, and what happens next is extremely satisfying.
So we got information about an incident that happened earlier out here on the street. I was just wondering what led up to all that.
The guy was going out with a camera and he's taking pictures. So I took a picture of him. And they took exception to the fact that I took a picture of him. First words out of his mouth were, there's a lot of white people around here that are racist. I said, well, hell, look at one. And I told myself, let me here's out here. That's exactly what I told him. I didn't do anything wrong.
Officers come back the following day to ask some more questions, but the man still stands on business.
Do you kind of see how the comments you made might be provoking and insulting in any way?
Well,
I mean,
of course.
from his
I mean,
point of
it
view.
was, remember what I told you? The first words out of his mouth were, Scottsdale's full of white racists. And my comment directly to him, I said, they're not all white.
We're going to take you down. We're going to arrest you, okay?
You're kidding me.
For what? You're being charged with disorderly conduct.
I'm a racist.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay?
Why are you here?
Because this is a no zone.
Watch as this YouTuber is confronted by this man with zero filter.
This is a no nigger zone, huh? That's okay. You got marked. You got marked. A lot of people need to, like, all of a sudden now we have the same enemy. We need to come together. I was like, it's gonna be what? Like, it's people like him who's been, he was standing on business being racist. But now that it's switching, oh no, we all got the same enemy. Let's come together. See, that's why the Most High has to show you who's who. He's going to show you who's who. Oh yeah, there's a no nigger zone. You know, white people aren't the only racists. I'm racist too. Yeah, remember that, because now Most High going to be coming after you too. Most High is going to send his angels and his fallen angels, demons, on you too. So just remember that. Like, this is how it was pre-2019. Y'all were wanting to be racist just along with the colonizers. This was, you don't even belong here. You, I'm sure, are a migrant, an immigrant who came from another country, who came over here to search for a better life, stealing and been living off of my resources this whole time, and being racist against our people, the owners of this land and the owners of the resources you came over here and you've been enjoying. This is why it's this whole thing with all of the immigrants is like, it's going to be really, really bad for them, because the Most High has been keeping track of all of that. Most High has been keeping track of all that, and I'm sorry is not going to fix it with the Most High, because he's going to laugh at your calamity. When the rough times come for you, he's going to be laughing at your calamity. You're going to want to chase after him. He's going to say, I never knew you. No, I'm not going to hear you. Take these curses. Take these dregs. And see, now that we have the Holy Spirit, now we can see you. And we can see right through you. That's why, I'm like, I ain't wasting my time talking to a lot of people anymore. I said, because you guys already knew what you were doing. You already knew that everything that you got over here came from our people fighting for our rights in the civil rights time. And you've been getting all of these benefits this whole time. So just wanted to spend a little bit of time, show you all those verses, show you guys, the different verses and the precepts that go along with the verses in order to give more clarification. We start reading the Bible and you start looking at 1492 till now, and these final few shepherds over the sheep. Now it all makes sense. Now you understand why Trump has been made to send all these people home. And no matter how much y'all keep saying, we don't want ICE in LA, we don't want ICE here, I want ICE there. You guys have already gotten your blessing. Your blessing has been canceled. So now you listen to what the Most High is telling you to do. Simple as that. Great hanging out with you guys today. Much love. Shalom.